Greetings and salutations, my friends. Todd Falcone here. Welcome to toddfalcone.com. And today we're going to chat a little bit about how do you get your downline doing more. I mean, one of the most common things I remember even asking myself, like, hey, nobody on my team's doing anything. I'm like the only guy that's doing anything. So how do I get my team to do more? And this entire subject matter could probably take me a couple of hours, but just a few things that I want to share with you today is number one, and this should go without saying, but I'm going to say it. If you want your team to be doing more, what are they seeing you doing? I mean, to me, like thinking about leadership and leading by example, it's like I've got to be the person that's setting the pace for other people to follow. If I'm setting the example of what I want others to be doing in my organization, they're going to be watching going, well, that's what my leader's doing. Maybe I should do what my leader's doing. Because sometimes I see people at events, for example, and people are tuned out and like the leader is in the back of the room or in the hallway because they've seen the event before, and so their other people are kind of distracted and they're watching their leader hanging out in the hallway rather than being in the front row taking notes and being engaged. So how engaged are you? That to me is like numero uno when it comes to getting your team doing more. And quite frankly, if you're doing more anyhow and the team members that are watching you don't ever step up and do more, you're already not worried about it because you're already putting other people in the business. So it solves the problem both ways now, doesn't it? Number two is, I think this is probably more of a challenge for people that are impatient and they're really good at what they do and they're enrolling people and they're like, it's like, okay, if you're not going to do it, I'll do it for you. It's like, I was talking about this on a leadership call the other day. How is your kid ever going to learn to tie his shoes if you're always tying the shoes for him? And I mean, I can know this from personal example because my youngest child, I've tied his shoes for a long time. And you got to teach him until they finally get it, which is the same thing we've got to do with people in this business. But you got to, at one point, go, dude, tie your shoes. You got to do it yourself. So another way to empower your people to do something is to not do it for them. So two things. I mean, again, I could do this for hours and talk about this subject in multiple ways of doing it. But number one to me is you got to be the person that's setting the pace and leading by example. And number one, they're going to watch you and they're very much more likely to do what they see you doing. And B, again, it's not going to matter so much because you're out there drumming up new business anyhow. So if they don't do anything, if they don't step up, then guess what? You got somebody else to replace them. And that's a very strong way of thinking if you really want to grow a substantial organization. The second part is, look, let your kids tie their own shoes, okay? As long as you're guiding them, as long as you're leading them in the direction, as long as you're not just saying, hey, go do it, go make me some money, but you're providing them the resources and the avenue, and you're providing them the support, the ability for them to figure it out, then that's all good. But if we just like point our finger and say, go do something, we can't expect people to go do it. Third thing I'd actually say is one great thing to do is be engaged with your new people. If you got a new person that's involved that just signed up, you can't expect them to go run out and crush it tomorrow. They're probably unsure of themselves. They're full of fear. They don't know exactly what they're doing. So if you can work with them and literally work with them hand in hand, at least you're going to get some activity out of them and they're going to feel more comfortable because you're going to help them get past some of those initial fears and those hesitancies that a lot of people have when they do this business. So that's it for today. Stay fearless, my friends. We'll see you next time.